The old Victorian mansion stood atop the hill, its windows reflecting the silver moonlight like watchful eyes. I had heard the rumors about the mirror that hung in the grand foyer, a mirror that held a connection to the spirit world, a conduit for the voices of the past. Determined to uncover the truth, I entered the mansion, my footsteps echoing through the empty halls. The air was heavy with a sense of anticipation as I made my way to the foyer. There, suspended on the wall, was the mirror, an ornate frame encasing a glass that seemed to hold a depth beyond the ordinary. With a mixture of trepidation and curiosity, I stared into the mirror's surface. At first, there was nothing but my own reflection staring back at me. But as I continued to gaze, the room around me seemed to fade away, replaced by an opulent ballroom from a bygone era. People in elegant attire twirled across the floor, their laughter and conversation a distant hum. As I watched, a figure caught my eye, a young woman in a flowing gown, her eyes filled with a mixture of sadness and longing. She moved with a grace that seemed out of place amidst the revelry, and it was clear that she was searching for something or someone. I felt a shiver crawl down my spine as her gaze met mine through the mirror. Her lips moved, forming words that I couldn't hear, but her eyes conveyed a plea for help. In that moment, I realized that I wasn't just witnessing a reflection of the past, I was experiencing it firsthand. The scene shifted, and I found myself standing within the ballroom. The music swelled, and the young woman approached me, her hand outstretched. I could feel the weight of her sorrow and the urgency of her need. Without a second thought, I reached out and touched her hand. A jolt of energy surged through me, and suddenly, I was seeing the world through her eyes. Her name was Eleanor, and she was trapped between worlds, unable to move on due to a mysterious unfinished business. She had been betrayed by someone she loved, and her spirit had lingered, unable to find peace. Eleanor's memories flooded my mind, the whispered promises, the secret meetings, the heartbreak of betrayal. She had been wronged, and her spirit yearned for justice. The weight of her emotions threatened to overwhelm me, but I held on, determined to help her find the closure she sought. With newfound purpose, I returned to the present, my reflection once again staring back at me from the mirror's surface. But this time, I could see Eleanor standing beside me, her form translucent yet determined. Her lips moved again, and this time, I could hear her voice, a soft, ethereal whisper. "Help me," she implored, her eyes locking onto mine. I nodded, my resolve firm. "I will find the truth and bring you the justice you deserve." As I left the mansion, the weight of Eleanor's story stayed with me, driving me to uncover the secrets that had kept her spirit bound for so long. The investigation led me to forgotten letters, hidden diaries, and long-buried secrets that painted a picture of betrayal and heartache. Finally, armed with the truth, I returned to the mirror. Eleanor's form appeared once more, her eyes bright with hope. I spoke the words that would release her from the shackles of the past, and as her form began to dissolve, a sense of peace washed over me. The mirror, once a portal to the past, now held only my reflection. The mansion was still and silent, as if the weight of its history had been lifted. I knew that Eleanor's spirit had found its way to the other side, her story finally told and her spirit at rest. And as I left the mansion behind, I couldn't help but wonder what other stories the whispering mirror held, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to listen.